Hello everyone, welcome back once again, and today we are going to cover the topic that is the list indexing. So we are going to understand more on indexing for list and the slicing of list. Okay, just like we have slicing in strings, we have the slicing in list also. And some of the important two important methods, that is append and the pop method. Okay, so let's get started. So, indexing, as we have discussed in my previous video, that we have indexing in list. So, every item in the list has an index value, and we have used the forward indexing also. Just like in strings, we have two types of indexing. That is the forward indexing and the backward indexing. The same principle follows out here. So I will take example. If you have a list that is having numbers like these, okay, and if I use the forward indexing, so according to the forward indexing, okay, this will have the value. It starts from value 0, right? This is the index value 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3 and 4. So these are the index value. Now this is the forward indexing, right? Now what if there is a backward indexing? Now there is a backward indexing and it starts from -1 from backside. That is, this is -1, -1, and okay, this is -1. Then this we can keep it as -2, okay, and this is -3, this is -4 and -5. Okay, so these are the index values. Okay, so these are the index values. That is, this is called as the forward indexing and backward indexing. Now these, using this index values, I can access the values from the list. If I say L of 2, so it should give me the output, that is the index, that is the item number that has the value 56. So let us just run this and see the output. Okay, test.py, and now we will have the output. So we will have the output, that is 56. Here it is, 56. Okay, so even if I make this as -3, so it will all, in that case too, it will give the same output, that is 56, because I'm using the backward indexing value, that is -3. So if you run this, you will see the same value, that is 56. So this is the forward indexing and this is the backward indexing. Okay, now we will move on to slicing of a list. Okay, slicing of list. Just like in strings we had slicing, we have slicing of list also. Okay, now same principle will follow for example, if I start from 0, give a colon and say till 4. Okay, so these are the index values. So I'm starting from 0 going till 4. So when I say 4, it goes 1 less. Okay, so if you see the output for this, we will have a slicing of these items. So this 90 won't be included. So we will have a list which will have 12, 34, 56 and 78. Okay, so I'll just run this and we will check the output. Okay, you can see there is a new list generated, that is 12, 34, 56 and 78. You can also assign this to another list, like if I say L2 is equal to L of 0 colon 4, and then I can print that value, that variable, that is L2. So we'll have the same output, but I've just assigned that list to a variable over here, you can see. Okay, so this is how to use a slicing. Now there are few other things. For example, what if I give as colon 2? Now this is one more jump that I'm giving. Okay, now this third parameter that we are passing is actually the jump value. Okay, just like in a range function we have the jump value. So this is like if it starts from 0, but then it will skip this 34. So it will take 12, it will take 56 and 90, but the 4 won't be included, right? So it will only include till here. So we will have 12 and then it will take a jump of 2 and that is 56. So you can see the output for this now, 12 and 56, right? But what if I don't give over here any value? So in that case, we will have the output as 12, 56 and 90. Now we had this output because I just did not pass any value, that is the start index and the end index is nothing. So it goes till the end. Even if I give this as 5, now this is interesting. Now you can see the output. Okay, and then I will explain this why we got this output. We had the same output, that is 12, 56 and 90. Now you can see 5, this index value does not exist, right? There is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, but 5 does not exist. Even if I give this as 10, you can see the index value, you can see the output as same. So this does not throw error. Python does not throw the error for this, because if I want to give a value, that is the end value, index value, and I want 90, so I can give this as, I have to make this as 5, so it can go till 4. And this is the reason why Python does not throw error for this. So even if I do give any index value that is not there, okay, it is out of range, so in that case Python will consider that as end of that index value. Till the end of the list, it will go till the end of that index value. Okay, so this does not throw error, understand it. So even if you have some of the interviews where we have the index value which does not exist and we are slicing it, so understand it goes till the end. Okay, now what if I want to print the list in reverse order? So in that case I can start from 4, from a bigger number till 0. Okay, now I'm going from 4 to 0, but then I have to pass the third parameter as the third argument as -1. So what happens, -1, so it goes in the reverse way. If I keep this as 1, in that case what will happen is we will not have any output. We'll have basically an empty string. That is because I'm starting from 0 and I'm going -1, I'm going in a reverse way, but that does not exist. So in that case also it doesn't throw error, it will give you an empty string. But if I give this as -1, so it starts from 4, goes till 0 with 1, that is with every item. Okay, so you can see the output for this. So that's it. Now it started from 34. Okay, just a minute. Okay, yes, it started from 90, then 78, 56, 34, and just because we are going from 4 to 0, it goes 1 less. So when I say 1 less, it basically, when I'm going from 4 to 0, it will go till 1. So we will have this particular items. Okay, you can see the output over here, right? This is the output. But what if I want this index value 0 also? In that case what I will do, I will just ignore this. Okay, and I'll keep it as blank, and you can see the output now. There it is. Now this, you can see we had the complete list but in a reverse order. So 90, 78, 56, 34 and 12. We started from 4, went till nothing, that means till the end. Okay, so that is how you can use the index values for and that is how you can use the slicing method to reverse a string. Even if I don't give anything out here, if I keep this as blank, and we will see the output now. Okay, even if I keep it blank, I will have the same output. So what happens if I give -1 over here? So Python assumes that you are going from a reverse way. So it assumes that we are going from 4 to 0. Okay, if I give -1. But what if I give 1? What if I give 1? So you can see the output over here. Okay, now you can see the first we had a -1, for -1 we had this output, but for 1 we had this output. But because when we give 1, it assumes that we are going from 0 to 4. Okay, so that is how it works. So if I give something like now what if I give -2? So this will take a jump, will go from reverse order, and it will take a jump of 2 in that case. You can see the output. So this is the third output. It started from 90, then it took a jump of 2, that is 56, and then 12. right? So I hope now this slicing concept is very much clear to you. Okay, now we will move on to some of the important methods of list. I'll be just taking two of them for this particular tutorial. So let us just start it. Now append, for example, what if I am not assigning the values, I'm just keeping an empty string. Now I want to accept values from the user, and then I want to add those numbers into the list. Okay, so how will I do that? For example, I've just used a for loop and range of 5, so this will go for 5 iterations, and then I'll just take an input from the user using the input function, enter a number. Okay, now this will run for 5 times, and then what I will do is I will use L, that which is a list, dot append. Now append function, what it will do is it will add the item at the end of the list. Okay, so every time we add an item, it will get append to that list. Append means at the end of the list. So if I have already have 2 numbers in the list, so this will become the third number at the end of that list. Okay, so now let us just run this program and see the output. Okay, I just print L, and we will accept 5 numbers, and that is 12, 34, 56, 78 and 90, and you can see I have printed the list. So append, every time I'm adding an item, first thing I added 12, so it got it got added to the list, and then I added 34, so it added at the end of the list, and so on. Okay, now this is how you can through programmatically you can add items to a list using this append function. Now I have used a loop, so it's not like if I can just show you an example without using a loop. So what if I just use append, okay, append and 12, and I'll just copy paste this. Okay, I'll just copy and paste. So here are the numbers. So every time that function gets executed, so first time it will add 12 in the list, then 56, 67 and 89, right? So it depends on how many times that function you have used. It is how many times it had got executed. So we got this output. Similarly, we have append to add the number or item into the list. We have we have a pop method which kind of removes that particular item from a list. So and it returns that value. So if I say il dot pop, and I simply use pop, that's it. If we do not pass any value to the pop method, so in that case it will remove the last item from the list, that is 83. This was the last item, the last number that we added. So I will just print I over here so you can understand how it works. So pop method basically will remove the item from the list and it will get assigned to I. Now I will also print the list so that you can see the how many items the list have. Okay, so you can see we removed 89 and we assigned, pop method will remove that number from the list by default, that is the last number, and it will get assigned to I, and then I printed I, which gave me 89, and then I printed the list, and you can see the list, there is only 12, 56 and 67, there is no 89. Now we have removed, we have popped that number from that list. Okay, so if you use pop method, by default it will remove the last number. What if I use this again? What if I use this again? I'll just show you. Okay, and okay, just copy these 2 statements, and again I'll paste this over here, and again okay, this statement also I need to copy it over here, right? So you can see the output now. So first time it removed 89, and then we had this list, then 67 was the last item since 89 was removed, so 67 got removed. Again I use this I is equal to L dot pop, and then we had this this particular list which has 2 numbers now, that is 12 and 56, right? So this is how you can use the pop method. Now if you want to remove some index value from middle, what if I want to remove 56? So in that case you need to specify the index value, you need to pass the index value. So this is 56 index value, so this is 0 index value, 1 2 3, so this is 1, so I just need to pass 1. Okay, and I'll just print that list also, so that you can understand that we have removed that item from the list. Okay, so you can see over here that is 56 has been removed, and you can see we had 12, 67 and 89. So 56 has been removed from the item. Okay, we popped that number from that list. So you need to pass that index value. But what if I pass something like 10? Now in this case, okay, you will have an error. Understand it. So if you are using a pop method and if you give anything that index value that does not exist, in that case the pop method will throw an error. Python will throw an error to you. Okay, so just be very careful while using the pop method. Just you need to take care that you're not out of index, so that index value should exist. Okay, so that's it for today. So today we have learned how to use the list slicing. We have learned about the indexing, forward indexing, backward indexing, and we have learned about the append method and the pop method. Okay, so that's it for today. In my next tutorial we will take some few more methods of the list. Okay, bye for now. So if you have liked my video, do subscribe to my channel. There is a subscribe button in front of you. Click it right away, and after that click on the bell icon so that you can get the regular notifications of my videos. Bye for now.